Hello friends, welcome back. It is time to go over my 11th graders curriculum for next school year. Cannot believe that I will have a junior in high school. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do. We partner with the public school system in order for our kids to play sports. So I teach all of the core classes at home, and then they are enrolled in their elective classes at the local public school so that we can play sports with our school district. So I do not love how many electives they have to take in order to be eligible, but we work with what we have. This is what the options that are available to us. We have very athletic children. All of them play multiple sports. And so this is what works for our family. So my daughter Journey is going into the 11th grade. And so let me tell you a little bit about her electives first. She is on the waiting list. It's called KCTC. It's the County Tech Center. And she was really hoping to get in. I'm really hoping she gets in because that would take care of 2 of her electives, I believe, and she would still need 2 more. Maybe it takes care of 3 of her electives. But she found this business course. It's like an entrepreneurship business course through there. And so she would get on a bus at our local high school, drive down to the tech center, do her entrepreneurship program there, and then ride the bus back to our high school. And then she would go about her day. So really hoping she gets into that. Her other elective that she's going to take is art. She has really enjoyed taking art through the local high school. And actually her art teacher goes to our church, which is fun. So anyway, let's start with LA. Shouldn't be a surprise if you have followed me for homeschooling stuff for a little while. I am with using, again, the good and the beautiful. I really like the high school units. So this is high school 3. It comes with 10 units. They come in individual booklets. This is very self-paced. There are, like, all of the sentence dictation is online so that they can do it completely independently. And Journey does. All I have to do, she just tells me when she's done with a unit, and then I go through and grade it. And that's actually requires very little except reading, like the writing assignment, making sure they've completed the unit, that type of thing. So very comprehensive. I really like this. The required reading, the book pack that comes with it, is the Good and the Beautiful short story collection, The Little Duke, Florence Nightingale, and then this one is The Call of the Woods, an Edgar Guest collection, and I'm assuming it's poems. It is. I don't know anything about Edgar Guest, but that is all poems. So that's the required reading that goes with the unit. And then there is also a book challenge that I always have my kids do. So you just pick, you can print this right off of their website. You pick out of these different categories. And so this year she is going to be reading Little Women. I bought this on thrift books. That's where I get most of my books. And I love the design of it, but this is impractical to read. Like, the book needed to be bigger and skinnier, because when you open this up, do you know how hard that is to hold on to that? So I don't know. We'll see how she does with it. You know, it's just going to be very challenging to read that way. So anyway, she's going to be reading Little Women. She is going to be reading In the Reign of Terror, a story of the French Revolution. So looked very interesting. And then I actually, I think I've read this book before, but Jane of Lantern Hill by L.M. Montgomery. So those are her book challenge books this year. And that is everything that she needs for language arts. Now, for math, she's going to be doing CTC Algebra 2, which is online. We switched to that curriculum last year, and I just decided, good, bad, or ugly, we're sticking with this for the rest of the way through, because in my experience, if you hop around math curriculums too much, there are some gaps in where things start and some repetitive stuff. And so I just really want to follow it through. As always, there's some positives and negatives about an online math curriculum, but for the most part, they have liked it better than teaching textbooks, at least for like the older subjects of math. If you were to ask my 6th grader right now, he probably prefers teaching textbooks. But so she'll be doing Algebra 2. And then for our state, she only needs 3 science credits to graduate. And so she has already completed physical science, and she just completed biology at home here for her sophomore year. So she's actually going to take a break next year while she's in Algebra 2. That's typically, algebra has been her toughest subject by far. And so we decided to not do a science curriculum next year so she can focus her time on Algebra 2. And then when she's a senior, we will do her last science credit, which right now looks like it's going to be forensic science through master books. But obviously that could change because that's like 2 years from now. So what are we doing for history? The younger 2 are doing year 3 of The Good and the Beautiful. But always my plan, once my kids became juniors and seniors in high school, I really wanted like a dedicated, focused, like U.S. history course. And then if we have time, a world history course. So this was on my short list. And then Ashley from Grace and Grit used it and gave it a very good review, and so of course I went ahead and did it because Ashley said it was good. So I will be doing this with Journey. This is Exploring America by Knotgrass History, and so this first textbook is Columbus Through Reconstruction. The second book is Late 1800s to the Present. So this is the 2019 edition. So obviously, you know, we all know that history books are out of date the second that they're printed. So that will go up through 2019. It comes with this book also, which I really like. It is Original Documents, Speeches, Poems, Stories, and Hymns from American History. So she will go through this when the textbook tells her to. And then I did go ahead and purchase the quiz and exam book, the student review book, which I think is going to be very helpful. It has the lessons, like the review questions. And then here is the guide and the answer key. So that is going to be great for her. And actually, I'm probably going to flip you around and show you some stuff a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Hold that thought. All right, I just wanted to show you a lesson. So I chose this lesson at random. So there is reading involved. I like how colorful it is. I like all of the pictures. And that was something that we were really looking for, especially for my very like visual artistic daughter. I was looking for something engaging. She really does like history quite a bit. And so I was looking for something visually appealing as well. Now I am just using this for history, but I wanted to show you. So here's the assignments. So she would take that, she would read the hymn. She would take that American Voices book and read that hymn. I'm not doing literature because there is a book pack that you can get and do literature with it, but we're already doing the good and the beautiful. I'm not doing Bible, and I'm not doing the project. So she will do whatever it tells her to do in that American Voices book, and then in the student review, these are not going to be optional, but it says answer the questions for lesson 82. So then if I go to the review book and look for lesson 82, it's very hard to do one-handed. Okay, so here are the review questions for lesson 82. So then she will just complete those once she reads the lesson. And I think review questions are extremely helpful when you're just reading something. Something else that I may or may not do, for $25, there's an audio download that you can get that has the textbook being read to you. I do think in particular Journey probably finds that helpful. So like when she just has to sit down and read it herself, she's kind of an auditory learner, and so that helps her. So I probably will go ahead and do that. I might wait till we get into the year and see how it goes. Like if I'm not able to sit, I like subjects like this, I like to sit with them and like I'll take a turn reading and then they read to me and like do it together. I don't help her with any of the questions or anything like that, but reading the actual lesson, I like to do those with my high schoolers. So that is history. We already talked about math. We already talked about she's not doing a science. And then she does also, if she doesn't get into the tech center program, she has some other things picked out, which is like a broadcast journalism class and like yearbook class and stuff like that. And really it all depends, like her classes need to be stacked together. I like them to start like later in the day and then they stay for their sports practices, and then we take the mornings to get the bulk of our core work done. So that's kind of how we do that. And then I just wanted to show you, I don't do like morning basket time anymore with the three of their schedules, like back and forth to the public school and stuff. So instead I have shifted that stuff. We do like morning basket stuff during the summer. So for the summer, we didn't make it to these devotions from Not Consumed Ministries. It's a developing a quiet time. So we're going to do those this summer. I did not get to these YWAM missionary stories this year, and so we're going to start chipping away at these during the summer. They're just true missionary stories, and I've wanted to start those for a long time. I still do read alouds with all of my children, even my almost 11th grader. They don't really have a choice, but none of them really complain about it. So I think secretly they like it, but they would never tell me that they like it. And in the summer, we do it like right after lunch, the hottest part of the day when everybody's just kind of wanting to be in the air conditioning. And I also require them to read at least 30 minutes a day during the summer, just, as a thing to do. And I actually will read with them. I'll take my book out there and we'll set a timer and we'll all read together. My almost 11th grader Journey, she does have a babysitting job this summer as well. She had one last summer, and so she'll kind of be, that's one day a week right now. And then they also, all three of the kids actually go and work at my parents' house sometimes. So the current read aloud is The Railway Children. That is what I'm reading, all three of them. It's taken us a while to get through it because rarely are all three of them home at the same time these days. So this one's okay. The language is kind of old, and so, but I wanted to read this because there's a movie coming out about this book. So wanted to read that. I'm currently reading this one, The Strangers, the Greystone Secrets series, to my younger two, and Journey has already read this one, and so I did go ahead and get the other two in the series, and so I will probably start these along with those YWAM missionary stories for our read aloud time as soon as summer starts, and that's about it. It seems like I don't have very much, but she's taking 4 electives at school, and she's not taking science this year. So that's what we have for my 11th grade daughter. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!